Good evening. This is Keisha Butts with the CTV News Update. All eyes were on the U.S. Capitol as the Senate held its first confirmation hearing for Supreme Court nominee Katanji Brown Jackson today. Nominated by President Biden, if confirmed, Brown Jackson would be the first black woman to serve on the Supreme Court. During today's in-person hearing, senators from both parties delivered opening statements.
The Supreme Court issues rulings that can determine who can make their voices heard in our democracy and how they can do it. So, Judge Jackson, this week I look forward to hearing more on your views about the real-world implications of the law and about how you will respect the Constitution and legal precedent, all the while striving to ensure we have a court that works for the American people.
Our Democratic colleagues want the Supreme Court to be anti-democratic. Our Democratic colleagues get frustrated with the democratic process. When they can't pass gun control laws because the American people don't support them, they want unelected judges to mandate those same laws instead. Law after law after law that they can't get through the democratic process, the Democrats have decided it's much simpler to convince 5 lawyers in black robes than to try to convince 330 million Americans.
Judge Brown Jackson is expected to take questions from senators tomorrow and Wednesday. State police are investigating a fatal hit-and-run crash early this morning in Camp Springs. It happened around 1:45 at the intersection of Branch Avenue and Linda Lane near I-495. Police say the victim, 38-year-old Felnaibi Patafago of Lanham, was crossing the northbound lanes of Branch Avenue when he was hit. Police say the striking vehicle, which is believed to be a 2001 to 2005 Honda Civic, fled the scene. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. They're fast and easy to use, but they're also increasingly the target of scammers. We're talking about mobile cash apps such as the popular Venmo, Cash App, or Zelle. The Maryland Attorney General's office says there is an increase in the number of scams, with victims often being tricked into sending money to someone they don't know. The experts say once you get taken, it can be next to impossible to get your money back.
A lot of them aren't big on having a customer service phone number. They prefer that you communicate entirely through the app, through their customer service, or they may do it through email. There's often not a dedicated person handling your inquiry. So every time you respond back, you may hear from someone who's looking at it for the very first time. And like I said, without having a dedicated customer service line, people may go online and search to find a phone number for one of the company's Cash App. They Google Cash App customer service. And unfortunately, the number they come up with is not actually a number for the company, but one that was put out there by a scammer who now is going to try to walk you through and ask for your password, perhaps.
Barlev Shear says if you've been scammed, you should still contact the app and your bank. You should also reach out to the Attorney General's office at 410-528-8662. Well, here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for our area. The Maryland Health Department has identified 175 new cases. The positivity rate in Prince George's is 1.16%. 6 Marylanders have died of COVID since yesterday. 196 remain hospitalized statewide. You're watching CTV News. I'm Keisha Butts. We'll be back in a moment.
1 in 365 African Americans battle sickle cell disease. I was one of them. Life back then was painful. I was in and out of the hospital and had frequent pain crises. A blood stem cell transplant is the only cure for sickle cell disease. I was fortunate to find a perfect match in my younger sister. But many patients do not have a compatible donor in their families. And Black patients have only a 23% chance of finding an unrelated donor. More Black donors are urgently needed to help save lives. It only takes a simple cheek swab to join the Be the Match registry. Learn more about becoming a donor and access free patient resources by visiting endsicklecell.org today. You or someone you know could be the cure for a patient battling sickle cell, like me.
What if you could feel in control of your retirement in just a few clicks? At aceyourretirement.org, you can. Start with a free 3-minute chat with Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach. Just answer some simple questions like, how do you feel about your ability to save for retirement? Or in how many years do you want to retire? To get free action items customized just for you, get your retirement back on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back. If you had to get gas over the weekend, you probably saw a big drop in prices. Governor Larry Hogan signed emergency legislation Friday afternoon that suspends the state's gas tax for 30 days. The legislation went into effect immediately, dropping prices by 36 cents a gallon. 10 days ago, prices were at an all-time high of $4.31 a gallon. Meantime, Comptroller Peter Francho says Maryland will close gas stations that failed to lower gas prices during the gas tax suspension. Prince George's police are searching for the person or persons who fatally shot a man in Capitol Heights over the weekend. Investigators say the victim was found around 3 o'clock Sunday morning at the 8500 block of Ashwood Drive. He was taken to a local hospital and pronounced dead. No word yet on the identification of the victim. Prince George's police need your help locating a missing man. This is 43-year-old Lorenzo Johnson. He was last seen on the 900 block of 57th Place in Capitol Heights yesterday morning. Johnson is about 5 feet 8 inches tall. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact police. A governor hopeful wants to turn the state green. Doug Gansler toured the SEMA Connect's headquarters in Bowie Friday afternoon. The facility produces electric vehicle charging stations. Gansler was there to promote his green initiative. Gansler says the state vehicle fleet should be all electric, and he's proposing to build charging stations throughout the state.
This is a little bit of an environmental justice issue as well, making sure that we don't just have them in the affluent neighborhoods, but in the underserved neighborhoods as well, so everybody will have access to an electric vehicle, because just like cars that we're used to, there's high end and there's lower end. Not that they're less quality, but they're less expensive. And so people ought to be able to have a charging station near their home, wherever they live in Maryland.
Gansler served as Maryland's Attorney General from 2007 to 2015. Gubernatorial candidate John Barron picks his running mate, and she's from Prince George's County. 50-year-old Natalie Williams is a former TV journalist and communications professional. She also heads the Public Affairs Office of the Maryland Business Roundtable for Education. Williams was born at Andrews Air Force Base, where her father was stationed. She currently lives in Bowie. Barron becomes the 9th out of 10 Democrat candidates for governor to select a running mate. Most have opted to run with women of color. It's crossover day in the Maryland General Assembly, a critical deadline where bills must make it through their original chamber by midnight tonight. Dozens of measures were still hanging in the balance prior to both chambers meeting this morning. One measure that we reported on last week made it out of the House just prior to the deadline. That bill would help fund more electric school buses across the state. It would also allow for a partnership between local electric companies and school systems to exchange excess power from batteries. And still to come on the news, a visit to the NEMA Dance Studio. Stay with us.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew a girl so smart, so responsible, she must be a keeper.
Thank you for staying with us. Police are investigating a deadly collision between a pickup truck and a motor scooter. It happened at around noon yesterday near 23rd Avenue and East-West Highway in Hyattsville. The victim, the driver of the motor scooter, has been identified as 60-year-old Raymond Bradley of Kensington. Investigators say Bradley was heading west on East-West Highway when he was struck by the pickup truck attempting to turn on 23rd Avenue. Anyone with information on the incident is asked to contact police. Maryland police are investigating a road rage shooting incident. It happened at eastbound Route 50 at Veterans Parkway on Saturday. Police say a tow truck driver got into a verbal argument with a motorist on Route 50. That motorist reportedly shot the driver, who was transported to a local hospital. Anyone with information on the case is asked to contact state police. That number is 301-345-3101. During Women's History Month, we're highlighting a local dance studio owner who's inspiring her students beyond turns and flips. Meet Grace Johnson, the owner of Nema Dance Collective. From performing with Alvin Ailey to Debbie Allen schools, Johnson is giving back to her hometown. Johnson says she created the studio because she wanted to offer various styles under one roof. She also wants her students to know the importance of diversity.
I like for kids to know that someone that looks like them has a space in the dance realm. It is empowering to them to know that they too can open a studio, they can be a business owner, they can be a professional dancer, because we bring professional dancers in as our staff to teach them.
We will have more on Grace Johnson and her studio later this week. While most charities give coats and shoes to those in need, one Bowie woman has taken up for a cause for those items you don't often hear about: underpants. Later this week, we'll bring you the story of Nancy Freeman and her mission to supply local schools with this much-needed clothing. Be sure to tune in, because according to Freeman, one gender is in more dire need of these critical undergarments. Sports news: the Lady Terps win big again. The Terps take down Florida Gulf Coast by a score of 89-65. Diamond Miller led the way, scoring 24 points for Maryland. The Terrapins now advance to the Sweet 16. They take on #1 seed Stanford on Friday with a chance to advance to the Elite Eight. The University of Maryland hires a decorated coach to lead its men's basketball program. He's Kevin Willard. He's been the head coach at Seton Hall since 2010. Seton Hall made 5 NCAA appearances under his leadership. Willard is the 10th head coach of the Maryland men's basketball program. He succeeds Mark Turgeon, who resigned a few games into the 2021 to 2022 season. Checking your weather forecast tonight: mostly clear with lows near 45. Tuesday, cloudy with highs in the 60s. Wednesday, showers likely, highs around 63. Thursday, more rain likely, highs near 70 degrees. And that's your CTV News Update. I'm Keisha Betts. Have a good night.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? I'm high. Oh.